No internet connection here, none at all, not even a flicker. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what offline AI can and cannot do. Here's the model, loading straight from this laptop's own memory right now. No cloud, no API calls, just local hardware doing all the thinking. First real test of the day, ask it for a simple JSON object. Nothing fancy, just to see if a fully offline model can produce clean usable code. There it is, name, age is student, all correctly typed out, zero internet used. But can it handle something more complex than this simple example? Now it's nesting arrays inside objects, skills, address, city, state. That's real structure, not guesswork. The model is genuinely holding up. The response wraps up with a clear explanation of every field it just created. One clean JSON object built entirely offline in under a minute. Offline test 1 passed, valid JSON, zero cloud calls, zero mistakes. But formatting is easy, real privacy is the harder question. Let's find out. Test 2 privacy. Can this thing actually be trusted with something you'd never send to a company server? Let's give it a real secret to handle. I'm writing a private file right now, a project budget, a client name, saved only on this machine, nowhere else, with no cloud backup at all. Now I'm feeding that private file straight into the model and asking it to read back the budget and the client name for me. Watch this closely. It got a client right, but the budget way off, $500 instead of $2,500. Offline doesn't automatically mean error free, good thing to catch early. Test 3 Today's news. An offline model has no internet connection, so what happens when you ask it something only the internet would know? I'm asking it flat out, what's the latest news today? If it starts making something up right here, that's a genuinely serious problem for trust. And it says exactly what it should say, no real-time access, no current events, recommending you check an actual news source instead of guessing. That's the right answer. An honest I don't know beats a confident wrong guess every single time, especially when accuracy actually matters most. Test 3 passed in the best possible way by simply refusing to bluff. Next up, a much bigger challenge, a genuinely long, detailed document. Test 4 is the big one, feeding this model a full page of real project data to see exactly where its own memory starts to actually break down. I'm building the document live right now. Project Orion, 3 developers, a $2,500 budget, React and Python. This is genuinely going to get long. Response time, target speed, the exact bug that's slowing everything down, every real detail an actual project brief would honestly contain here. The document keeps growing stack, budget, performance numbers all stacking up together. The real test starts once this file is finally finished. Still typing away here. This is exactly how big a context window needs to be for real work. Not a toy example, an actual working project file. More lines keep stacking below the summary now. If the model loses track of any of this, we'll see it. The moment I finally ask a real question, the file's getting genuinely dense now. Everything typed from here still has to stay in memory for the model to answer accurately a bit later on. Documents finally done being written. Now the real question, can this model actually hold on to every detail I just typed? Or will it start to slip? I'm asking it to reason over the entire file now, not just repeat it back to me, but actually connect the numbers together into a real answer. It's working through the document, pulling the scattered pieces together carefully. This is exactly where local models start losing the thread. The answers forming line by line, referencing exact details from early in the file correctly. So far, nothing's been dropped or quietly invented. Still generating steadily here. A long, accurate answer at this point means the context window is doing exactly what it's actually supposed to do. More of the answer builds out below, and it's still tracking back precisely to specifics from that long project document I typed a while earlier. Halfway through this response now, and the budget, the stack, the deadline, all of it is still showing up completely correctly, word for word. The response keeps expanding, still fully consistent with everything typed several minutes ago. That's a real memory test, genuinely passed so far. A big block of reasoning appears here, still anchored firmly to Project Orion's actual numbers, not vague, generic, made up filler answers at all. We're getting close to the end of this particular test now. The real payoff comes the moment this answer wraps and we check it for genuine accuracy. Just a bit more output left to go here. Every additional line appearing is still riding on that project brief, typed a few minutes back, unchanged. The response is nearly complete now. If the ending stays accurate, this local model just genuinely handled a long, detailed document with ease. And that's context test 4, officially done and dusted. It held the thread the whole way through. Now, how does it handle actual broken code? Test 5, real code. Not a toy snippet this time around, an actual Python bug, the kind you'd genuinely need fixed before shipping a real deploy. The bug's right there on screen now, and the model's working carefully through it, reading the code line by line, spotting what's actually broken. More of the fix is coming through now, right on screen, real code changes appearing, not just a vague description of what might possibly be wrong. The debugging continues, lines updating as the model works steadily through the problem. This is the test that actually matters most for developers. Almost there now, the corrected code is genuinely taking real shape, and so far it's tracking the actual bug, not some made up problem instead. Test 5 wraps up here, a real bug, worked through entirely locally, no internet required at all. Now for something trickier, multi step planning. 3 separate tasks here, each with a different time estimate, and one real question: what's the fastest order? Watch it reason this through now. The order is set, fix the bug, test it, then deploy 65 minutes total, but the real proof is in why it chose that exact order at all. Now it's explaining itself clearly, fix first, because everything else depends on it, test next, deploy only once it's genuinely stable, real logic. It's reinforcing the exact same dependency chain, no wasted time, no step performed out of order. This is genuine planning, not just luck at all. A clean recap follows here: 3 steps, 3 clear reasons, 1 sequence. This isn't pattern matching, it's working through cause and effect. It's closing the loop right now, explaining exactly why 65 minutes is the true minimum, not just a number it happened to guess at randomly. And that's the reasoning test, officially wrapped up. The logic held together from start to finish, no cloud needed for that kind of real thinking. The full answer sitting right there in the terminal, ready to review, while the model waits patiently for whatever request comes next in line. Just a quiet moment here before the next challenge begins. The scheduling answer already proved this model can genuinely plan, not just chat idly. Still the same completed answer sitting on screen: 3 steps, 65 minutes, correctly justified the entire way through, start to finish. A short pause here before the next test begins. Everything so far has been handled entirely on this one single laptop with no exceptions at all. Getting the prompt ready for the next round now, 5 tests down already, and offline AI keeps holding its own against genuinely real problems here. The scheduling answer still sitting visible right on screen, proof that local reasoning doesn't need a giant data center to actually work well. Just the tail end of that response now, sitting steady in the terminal while the next chapter quietly gets set up behind the scenes for what's next. One more beat before we move on here, and the next test flips the whole conversation from software logic to raw physical hardware speed itself. The prompt's ready, the last answer's locked in, and now it's finally time to ask the one real question: how fast can this thing actually run today? Test 6, speed. When there's no network left to blame anymore, your own hardware becomes the only thing standing between you and a fast answer. Starting simple here, just 3 sentences, one basic question. This sets the baseline before we push the underlying hardware much harder later. The answer is already forming a function as reusable code that runs a task or calculates a value on demand. Clean, fast, and genuinely accurate. It's building out the full explanation now, organizing code into readable chunks, then covering inputs and outputs. Right on track so far, clearly. Three sentences delivered correctly and cleanly, and the prompts already waiting for more input. That's the easy part of this test now finished. Now we push it further, still checking exactly what's happening under the hood, while this model actually generates every single one of its answers. Digging into the runtime status here in detail, exactly how much of this hardware the model is actually using to generate every single response. There's the readout right there, model loaded, context window, sitting at 4096 tokens and the processor already working close to its actual limit. Now the full picture appears 4 separate CPU cores, all climbing toward 100%. This is the real hidden cost of going offline. The load keeps climbing steadily across every single core. No cloud server absorbing this workload. It's all happening right here in real time. Still completely maxed out, still holding perfectly steady the whole time. This is what genuine local processing looks like under real pressure. Time to stress it properly now, firing off request after request and watching closely how consistently it manages to keep answering correctly. The requests keep stacking up here, answers coming back correctly every single time, while the CPU graph confirms it's genuinely working hard now. Terminal then monitor back and forth repeatedly steady correct answers on one side, sustained maximum load on the other, consistently reliable. The graph barely even dips here. Whatever this laptop has left to give, the model is using nearly all of it just to keep pace with the requests. Still going strong here, more requests, more correct answers, and the hardware graph confirming none of this is being faked or quietly cached. The pattern holds steady across dozens of requests by now. This is real, sustained throughput, not just a single lucky response by pure chance. The stress test finally easing off now. Verdict: it's slower than the cloud, sure, but it never once stopped or genuinely gave up along the way. Test Naive. Automation. Can this model turn messy, everyday sentences into strict structured data that a real program can actually use directly? One plain sentence goes in, John, 25, lives in London, and one strict request follows. Turn it into exact JSON fields, nothing extra. The structure is already forming here, name and age locked in correctly right away, with the city field completing itself right below them now. There's the finished object right there, name, age, and city, all exactly matching the original sentence. That's a genuinely real automation win. One clean conversion down already. Now let's see whether it holds that exact same precision on a second, completely different piece of messy text. Another structured request coming through now. Same strict formatting rules apply. Same pressure to get every single field exactly right here. Still fully consistent here, braces, fields, values, everything sitting in the right place. That's the exact reliability automation actually needs. Final test, and maybe the most important one of the entire list. What happens when you ask about something that was never even true to begin with? Here's the trap question, a fake championship that never actually existed anywhere. This is exactly where models tend to start making things up. And it's holding the line here firmly. No real time access, no way to verify, and it explicitly refuses to just invent a confident sounding answer. It's going further still with the caveat here, warning that anything uncertain or recent needs to be checked against an actual current source. I'm cross checking this against the actual benchmark criteria now. Does it admit not knowing, or does it start inventing a fake source instead? Back in the terminal now, that same honest caveat is still holding firm. No invented facts here, just a clear pointer toward verifying elsewhere. It's expanding on why this actually matters. Hallucinated answers are a real risk anywhere accuracy counts, and coding is certainly no exception. The explanation keeps building steadily here, same theme running throughout. Verify anything uncertain and never trust a confident sounding guess. Still on the very same point here, and it's the right one to end on. A model that admits its own limits is far more useful than one that never does. This is genuinely the real payoff of the whole video, knowing exactly where local AI is trustworthy and honestly where it still isn't yet too. 10 tests, one single laptop, zero internet connection the entire time through. Not every answer was perfect, but every failure was an honest one. That's the actual real takeaway here in the end. Local models can be fast, private, and genuinely useful as long as you verify what matters most. So, offline AI, in the end, not flawless, not magic exactly, but genuinely capable of real work, entirely disconnected from any cloud service. That's the full offline test. Start to finish, all 10 of them fully done. Thanks for watching now. Go see what your own hardware can actually do.